Chapter 28 Quran Al-Qasas. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Twasin Mim. These are the verses of the book that makes things clear. We recite to you from the account of Musa and Pharaoh with truth for people who believe. Surely Pharaoh exalted himself in the land and made its people into parties, weakening one party from among them. He slaughtered their sons and let their women live. Surely he was one of the mischief makers. And we desired to bestow a favor upon those who were deemed weak in the land, and to make them the imams, and to make them the heirs, and to grant them power in the land, and to make Pharaoh and Haman and their hosts see from them what they feared. And we revealed to Musa's mothers, saying, give him suck. Then, when you fear for him, cast him into the river, and do not fear nor grieve. Surely we will bring him back to you and make him one of the apostles. And Pharaoh's family took him up that he might be an enemy and a grief for them. Surely Pharaoh and Haman and their hosts were wrongdoers. And Pharaoh's wife said, a refreshment of the eye to me and to you. Do not slay him. Maybe he will be useful to us, or we may take him for a son. And they did not perceive. And the heart of Musa's mother was free from anxiety. She would have almost disclosed it had we not strengthened her heart so that she might be of the believers. And she said to his sister, follow him up. So she watched him from a distance while they did not perceive. And we ordained that he refused to suck any foster mother before. So she said, shall I point out to you the people of a house who will take care of him for you, and they will be benevolent to him? So we gave him back to his mother that her eye might be refreshed, and that she might know grief, and that she might know that the promise of Allah is true, but most of them do not know. And when he attained his maturity and became full grown, we granted him wisdom and knowledge, and thus do we reward those who do good to others. And he went into the city at a time of unvigilance on the part of its people. So he found therein two men fighting, one being of his party and the other of his foes. And he who was of his party cried out to him for help against him who was of his enemies. So Musa struck him with his fist and killed him. He said, this is on account of the shaitan's doing. Surely he is an enemy openly leading astray. He said, my Lord, surely I have done harm to myself, so do thou protect me. So he protected him. Surely he is the forgiving, the merciful. He said, my Lord, because thou hast bestowed a favor on me, I shall never be a backer of the guilty. And he was in the city, fearing, awaiting, when lo, he who had asked his assistance the day before was crying out to him for aid. Musa, Musa said to him, you are most surely one erring manifestly. So when he desired to seize him, who was an enemy to them both, he said, O Musa, do you intend to kill me as you killed a person yesterday? You desire nothing but that you should be a tyrant in the land, and you do not desire to be of those who act aright. And a man came running from the remotest part of the city. He said, O Musa, surely the chiefs are consulting together to slay you. Therefore depart at once. Surely I am of those who wish well to you. So he went forth therefrom fearing, awaiting. And he said, my Lord, deliver me from the unjust people. And when he turned his face towards Madian, he said, maybe my Lord will guide me in the right path. And when he came to the water of Madian, he found on it a group of men watering, and he found besides them two women keeping back their flocks. He said, what is the matter with you? They said, we cannot water until the shepherds take away their sheep from the water, and our father is a very old man. So he watered their sheep for them, then went back to the shade and said, my Lord, surely I stand in need of whatever good thou mayest send down to me. The one of the two women came to him walking bashfully. She said, my father invites you that he may give you the reward of your having watered for us. So when he came to him and gave to him the account, he said, fear not, you are secure from the unjust people. Said one of them, O my father, employ him. Surely the best of those that you can employ is the strong man, the faithful one. He said, I desire to marry one of these two daughters of mine to you on condition that you should serve me for 8 years. But if you complete 10, it will be of your own free will. And I do not wish to be hard to you. If Allah please, you will find me one of the good. He said, this shall be an agreement between me and you. Whichever of the two terms I fulfill, there shall be no wrongdoing to me. And Allah is witness of what we say. So when Musa had fulfilled the term and he journeyed with his family, he perceived on this side of the mountain a fire. He said to his family, wait, I have seen a fire. Maybe I will bring to you from it some news or a brand of fire, so that you may warm yourselves. And when he came to it, a voice was uttered from the right side of the valley in the blessed spot of the bush, saying, O Musa, surely I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And saying, cast down you stuff. So when he saw it in motion as if it were a serpent, he turned back, retreating, and did not return. O Musa, come forward and fear not. Surely you are of those who are secure. Enter your hand into the opening of your bosom, it will come forth white without evil, and draw your hand to yourself to ward off fear. So these two shall be two arguments from your Lord to Pharaoh and his chiefs. Surely they are a transgressing people. He said, my Lord, surely I killed one of them, so I fear lest they should slay me. And my brother Harun, he is more eloquent of tongue than I. Therefore send him with me as an aider, verifying me. Surely I fear that they would reject me. He said, we will strengthen you arm with your brothers, your arm with your brother, and we will give you both an authority, so that they shall not reach you. Go with your our signs. You two and those who follow you shall be uppermost. So when Musa came to them with our clear signs, they said, this is nothing but forged enchantment, and we never heard of it amongst our fathers of old. And Musa said, my Lord knows best who comes with guidance from him, and whose shall be the good end of the abode. Surely the unjust shall not be successful. And Pharaoh said, O chiefs, I do not know of any God for you besides myself. Therefore kindle a fire for me, O Hammam, for brick, then prepare for me a lofty building so that I may obtain knowledge of Musa's God. And most surely I think him to be one of the liars. And he was unjustly proud in the land, he and his hosts, and they deemed that they would not be brought back to us. So we caught hold of him and his hosts, then we cast them into the sea, and see how was the end of the unjust. And we made them imams who called to the fire, and on the day of resurrection they shall not be assisted. And we caused a curse to follow them in this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be of those made to appear hideous. And certainly we gave Musa the book after we had destroyed the former generations, clear arguments for men, and a guidance and a mercy that they may be mindful. And you were not on the western side when we revealed to Musa the commandment, and you were not among the witnesses. But we raised up generations, then life became prolonged to them, and you were not dwelling among the people of Madian, reciting to them our communications. But we were the senders. And you were not on this side of the mountain when we called, but a mercy from your Lord that you may warn a people to whom no warner came before you, that they may be mindful. And were it not that there should befall them a disaster for what their hands have sent before, then they should say, O our Lord, why didst thou not send to us an apostle so that we should have followed thy communications and been of the believers? But now, when the truth has come to them from us, they say, why is he not given the like of what was given to Musa? What? Did they not disbelieve in what Musa was given before? They say, two magicians backing up each other, and they say, surely we are unbelievers in all. Say, then bring some other book from Allah which is a better guide than both of them, that I may follow it if you are truthful. But if they do not answer you, then know that they only follow their low desires, and who is more erring than he who follows his low desires without any guidance from Allah? Surely Allah does not guide the unjust people. And certainly we have made the word to reach them so that they may be mindful. As to those whom we gave the book before it, they are believers in it. And when it is recited to them, they say, we believe in it, surely it is the truth from our Lord. Surely we were submitters before this. These shall be granted their reward twice, because they are steadfast and they repel evil with good and spend out of what we have given them. And when they hear idle talk, they turn aside from it and say, we shall have our deeds, and you shall have your deeds. Peace be on you, we do not desire the ignorant. Surely you cannot guide whom you love, but Allah guides whom He pleases, and He who knows best the followers of the right way. And they say, if we follow the guidance with you, we shall be carried off from our country. What? Have we not settled them in a safe, sacred territory to which fruits of every kind shall be drawn? A sustenance from us, but most of them do not know. And how many a town have we destroyed which exulted in its means of subsistence? So these are their abodes. They have not been dwelt in after them except a little, and we are the inheritors. And your Lord never destroyed the towns until he raised in their metropolis an apostle reciting to them our communications, and we never destroyed the towns except when their people were unjust. And whatever things you have been given are only a provision of this world's life and its adornment. And whatever is with Allah is better and more lasting. Do you not then understand? Is he to whom we have promised a goodly promise which he shall meet with, like him whom we have provided with the provisions of this world's life. Then on the day of resurrection he shall be of those who are brought up. And on the day when he will call them and say, where are those whom you deemed to be my associates? Those against whom the sentence has become confirmed will say, our Lord, these are they whom we caused to err. We caused them to err as we ourselves did err. To thee we declare ourselves to be clear of them, they never served us. And it will be said, call your associate gods. So they will call upon them, but they will not answer them, and they shall see the punishment. Would that they had followed the right way. And on the day when he shall call them and say, what was the answer you gave to the apostles? Then the pleas shall become obscure to them on that day. So then the pleas shall become obscure to them in that day, so they shall not ask each other. But as to him who repents and believes and does good, maybe he will be among the successful. And your Lord creates and chooses whom He pleases. To choose is not theirs. Glory be to Allah, and exalted be He above what they associate with Him. And your Lord knows what their breasts conceal and what they manifest. And He is Allah, there is no God but He. He all praise is due to Him in this life and the hereafter. And His is the judgment, and Him you shall be brought back. And to Him you shall be brought back. Say, tell me, if Allah were to make the night to continue incessantly on you till the day of resurrection, who is the God besides Allah that could bring you light? Do you not then hear? Say, tell me, if Allah were to make the day to continue incessantly on you till the day of resurrection, who is the God besides Allah that could bring you the night in which you take rest? Do you not then see? And out of His mercy, He has made for you the night and the day that you may rest therein, and that you may seek of His grace, and that you may give thanks. And on the day when He shall call them and say, where are those whom you deemed to be my associates? And we will draw forth from among every nation a witness and say, bring your proof. Then shall they know that the truth is Allah's, and that which they forged shall depart from them. Surely Karun was of the people of Musa, but he rebelled against them, and we had given him of the treasures, so much so that his hoards of wealth would certainly weigh down a company of men possessed of great strength. When his people said to him, do not exult, surely Allah does not love the exultant, and seek by means of what Allah has given you the future abode, and do not neglect your portion of this world, and do good to others as Allah has done good to you, and do not seek to make mischief in the land. Surely Allah does not love the mischief makers. He said, I have been given this only on account of the knowledge I have. Did he not know that Allah had destroyed before him of the generations those who were mightier in strength than he and greater in assemblage, and the guilty shall not be asked about their faults. So he went forth to his people in his finery. Those who desire this world's life said, oh, would that we had the like of what Karun is given. Most surely he is possessed of mighty good fortune. And those who were given the knowledge said, woe to you, Allah's reward is better for him who believes and does good, and none is made to receive this except the patient. Thus we made the earth to swallow up him and his abode. So he had no body of helpers to assist him against Allah, nor was he of those who can defend themselves. And those who yearned for his place only the day before began to say, Ah, know that Allah amplifies and straightens the means of subsistence for whom He pleases of His servants. Had not Allah been gracious to us, He would most surely have abased us. Ah, know that the ungrateful are never successful. As for that future abode, we assigned it to those who have no desire to exalt themselves in the earth, nor to make mischief, and the good end is for those who guard against evil. Whoever brings good, he shall have better than it, and whoever brings evil, those who do evil shall not be rewarded for aught except what they did. Most surely, he who has made the Quran binding on you will bring you back to the destination. Say, my Lord knows best him who has brought the guidance and him who is in manifest error. And you did not expect that the book would be inspired to you, but it is a mercy from your Lord. Therefore, be not a backer up of the unbelievers. And let them not turn you aside from the communications of Allah after they have been revealed to you, and call men to your Lord, and be not of the polytheists. And call not with Allah any other God. There is no God but He. Everything is perishable but He. His is the judgment, and to Him you shall be brought back.